Well, hello and welcome to a new video where we are going to take a look at the performance of Counter-Strike 2 on the Nvidia Quadro RTX 5000 MaxQ. We're playing this at 1440p with the low settings preset, but at the native resolution, so we don't have any upscaling. Alright, and we're off to the game. And this one is inside a Lenovo Thinkpad P15 Generation 1, which means that we also have an 8-core i7 CPU as well as 32GB of system memory. And yeah, we're off to a good start. We're having definitely very much playable FPS here. And it is not our mighty RTX 5000 which is holding us back, which, if I remind you, is the equivalent to the RTX 2080 Super MaxQ. But with the difference that we have other drivers here and 16GB of not system memory, but VRAM, which definitely is not going to help us in Counter-Strike here, but maybe in other titles. Alright, but yeah, as expected, it is not the GPU holding us back here, and nevertheless, we are still having absolutely fine and playable FPS here. But I have to say, Counter-Strike 2 is definitely way harder to run than Counter-Strike Source, which I still find odd since I don't think that Counter-Strike Global Offensive, actually looked that much worse than Counter-Strike 2 did, or does. And yeah, having, on the other hand, so much more hardware requirements as compared to the other game is just sad to me. Alright, but yeah, I think we have established now that we definitely have a good performance here with these settings and this resolution. So let's go ahead and switch this up to the very high settings. Which means that we are still playing at the native 1440p resolution and with the highest settings all around, I guess. So yeah, let's load these settings in, which is probably going to take a few seconds before we can actually see the real performance here. But yeah, we're still not in the GPU limit, but it seems that our CPU is now limiting us at lower FPS than before. So obviously not optimal here. I mean, this monitor that I'm playing on, which actually is an external monitor, which should also boost the performance of this specific Quadro RTX, since the HDMI port is actually connected directly to the DGPU and not to the iGPU of the CPU. So we are circumventing this bottleneck. And yeah, so we should see the maximum performance of both the CPU as well as the GPU here. And that is not a great sign to me, that we are not even seeing 100 FPS any longer here at the highest settings. So yeah, I guess if you want to play it competitively, you definitely are not going to use them. And actually, honestly, in my opinion, I really just don't see like that much of a difference between them. So I really would not see any reason to use them. But yeah, I guess if you wanted to, you definitely could. And you will still have playable, I guess even competitively playable FPS here, since we're not dropping anything which would be concerning for a competitive game. But yeah, if you want to have the maximum performance to react as fast as possible, just go to the lowest settings here. But definitely, the RTX 5000 seems to run this game quite fine.